Columbia University, one of New York's historic campuses, was brimming with spring energy. But that morning, the usual buzz had been replaced by angry slogans, handmade banners, and live social media broadcasts. Hundreds of students gathered in the main square chanting slogans like, "Marriage is a patriarchal structure," "Individualism, not commitment," and "Love is not a chain." The sky was gray, but the square was warm. Lena Jervis, standing out as an organizer in the crowd, took the megaphone with her black leather jacket and clear determination. "Today, we are not just opposing marriage. Today, we are opposing the system, tradition, and male dominance." The crowd applauded enthusiastically. Lena knew that there would be a speaker in the university hall a few hours later, but she pursed her lips when she learned who it was: Donald J. Trump. Trump's appointment as speaker had been kept secret by Columbia's administration. However, as the protests spread, the information leaked onto the campus. Many of the youth activists saw this as a provocation. "Coming to defend family values?" Lena said angrily. "You've got the wrong address, Mr. Trump." The university's historic hall, Low Library, was surrounded by security guards and the press. Trump entered the speech hall quietly, accompanied only by one advisor and a few university officials. As he passed through the crowd, he noticed one thing: incredible anger, but more importantly, confusion. Backstage, Trump was looking not at the text of his speech, but at a single sentence in his notebook. "True connection is the most powerful building block of society, but its meaning is not as simple as anyone realizes." His advisor approached. "The protesters are likely to walk out during the speech. Some may shout." Trump replied without looking up, "Then I must say something so true that I feel compelled to stay." At exactly 3 p.m., Trump took the stage. The audience was divided into two groups: those sitting in the front rows of the room, traditionalist faculty, and a few curious students. Those in the back rows, those who had joined the protest but had come only to listen, and of course, Lena in the middle row. Her arms were folded, her face defiant. Trump moved to the podium, adjusted the microphone, and there was an unexpected silence. Perhaps the crowd had fallen silent because they were at a loss for words. "Hello, Columbia," Trump said. "I did not come here to speak. I came here to invite thought. I am expected to defend marriage today, but I am not here to defend an idea. I'm here to question why people choose their ideas." The crowd began to stir. A few people rolled their eyes, but no one spoke. Because Trump continued, "Love is freedom, but commitment is freedom. Choosing to remain connected can be a value, not a cage. If you call relationships chains, perhaps you have forgotten to see those chains as a rope woven with love." Someone from the back row shouted, "Don't you see the divorce rates?" Trump didn't hesitate. "Yes, I do. But getting divorced is a brave step, as is admitting you made the wrong choice. The question is, when you experience something wrong, do you blame the system or do you question your choice?" Trump's words created a divide in the room. Some thought it was manipulative, while others called it thought-provoking. Lena muttered without taking her eyes off Trump, "You don't understand us. This system was built on our backs." Trump caught Lena's gaze at that moment. He made eye contact, and suddenly he addressed her directly. "There's someone here now who seems like a leader. I don't speak without knowing anything about him. But I wonder, have you ever considered that freedom is a bond of love?" The whispers in the room increased. Lena froze. She didn't answer. Because for the first time, she was being questioned not just about ideology, but about her personally. Trump was silent for a few seconds. Even the microphone was gone. Sometimes the best way to defend an idea is not to shout, but to ask. Ask yourself, what am I really objecting to? Control, the past, disappointment? Silence spread throughout the room. Some students had begun to think, some were still resisting, but most importantly, no one had left. As Trump stepped away from the podium, he said, "I am not the answer, but I am not stopping you from asking the right questions." Then, before he let go of the microphone, he added this final sentence: "True connection is not forced, but when it is denied, it is missed when you need it most. The room fell silent. Lena did not move. As Trump left the room, Up stopped to talk to the student. Lena was still in the middle of the room. She didn't take the megaphone out of her bag, because the voice that echoed in her head was not slogans, but questions. What are we really opposing? The day after Trump's speech, the Columbia University campus was unusually quiet. No slogans were chanted, no megaphones were working, no crowds were gathering in the square. Lena Jervis checked her social media notifications on her phone as she sipped her morning tea. Trump's speech was thought-provoking, unexpectedly respectful. Why didn't Lena respond? The tone of the comments bothered her, because something really bothered her. Trump's question. Have you ever considered that freedom is a bond of love? Lena was at a meeting with a protest group. Everyone was bothered by Trump's speech, but she also wanted to pretend that no one was taking her seriously. This is just propaganda. We need to get back to our own agenda, one student said. Lena didn't shake her head. For once, she was silent. Someone in the group noticed. Lena? You've always been ahead. What do you think? She couldn't say what was on her mind at that moment, because what Trump said wasn't just political, it was personal. As the child of a broken marriage, the word commitment had always seemed like a form of bondage to him. Now, for the first time, he was questioning the idea. At the time, Trump was fielding interview requests from Fox, CNN, and independent podcasts after his speech at Columbia. His assistant asked him, "What made you sound so soft, almost philosophical?" Trump paused, then answered, "This generation is used to anger. But they don't question what they're angry about. I wanted to speak to their hearts, not their minds." And Lena, yes? She's not a challenge, she's a potential leader. That night, Lena looked through her old journals. A sentence from her high school years caught her attention. "I don't believe in love because I've never been loved. To love is to lose control." The sentence now sounded cowardly to her. Trump's attitude on the podium was full of confidence, not anger. He was facing someone who believed in love but advocated a commitment based on choice, not dependency. Lena wrote a message at 4 a.m. "Trump, I want to talk to you one-on-one, honestly." She sent it. She didn't wait. She went to sleep. When Trump read the message, he wrote only one thing. "Tell me the time and place, I'll come." A table was set up between exhibitions in the art gallery section of Columbia University. There was no press, there were no advisors, just Lena and Trump. Trump said the first sentence while drinking his coffee. "I thought you came to reject me, but there's something else in this silence." Lena got straight to the point. "I am not against marriage, I am against the control mechanism, the diminishing, oppressing, silencing of people in the name of commitment." Trump smiled. "I am against that too, but the bad implementation of something does not make its essence bad." Lena, do you think everyone is worthy of being loved? Trump, no, but everyone has the potential to learn to be loved. Lena, so why do most marriages fall apart? Trump, because people are not trying to fill each other's voids but their own. Marriage is not a solution. It is the intention of two people to find a solution together. Silence. Lena was internalizing this. Trump, why don't you want to get married? Lena, because I am afraid of losing. Trump, so there is something to gain. After this meeting, Lena could not tell her friends anything without talking, but her behavior had changed. She was shouting less and listening more. He told a club friend, "Maybe in our celebration of individuality, we have underestimated the power of connection." A few students were surprised by his reaction, some were dismissive, but most were watching a leader question himself for the first time. Before leaving New York, Trump turned to his advisor. "When people are shouting, they think they are winning, but when they start thinking, change begins." The advisor smiled. "Is Lena changing?" "No," Trump said. "She is looking for her own answer. That is where the most powerful change begins." Columbia University's spring forums are traditional events where students, faculty, and guest speakers come together to discuss ideas. But this year's forum was much more than just a panel discussion. The bulletin board read, "True Connection, Freedom or Responsibility." Participants, Lena Jervis and Donald J. Trump. Moderator, Professor Caden Elias. The room was packed. Media, students, alumni, some faculty, and hundreds of thousands of people were watching live. Because this was not just a dialogue, but a clash of two generations, two worldviews. Before the event, Lena looked in the mirror in the bathroom. Her hands were shaking slightly. For the first time, she was preparing for a speech, not a protest. Her friend next to her asked, "Are you scared?" "No," Lena said, "but for the first time, I will share rather than defend." Trump, on the other hand, said the following to his advisor as he put on his microphone backstage, "Today, I am not here to win, I am here to tell." Professor Elias took the stage and gave his introductory speech. Then Trump was invited first, then Lena. The applause was equally loud. It showed that the audience was paying attention to both sides. The moderator asked, "Is it a social choice to support or oppose marriage or a personal freedom?" Trump began, "Marriage, when properly explained, is not a punishment, it is an alliance. But if you impose it by force, it suffocates. If you choose it willingly, it builds." Lena nodded. "I am not against marriage either. I am simply against the idea of forced happiness. I am against society dictating with whom, how, and when we are committed." This was the first time that the two of them had found common ground. The room was silent. Because conflict was expected, dialogue was emerging. The moderator asked Lena the next question, "Does commitment rob you of your freedom?" Lena paused. This was a slogan she had been making for years, but today his answer was different. Loyalty, when imposed, is servitude. But when chosen, it is courage. The courage to compromise with yourself and the other person. Trump smiled. "You see, what this generation has lost is not value, it just doesn't know who to trust." A student from the room spoke up. "My mother was trapped in a marriage for 30 years. She stayed even though she knew she wasn't loved. If that's what you're talking about as a bond, I don't want it." Trump replied, "I respect that story a lot, but it's not about staying, it's about knowing why. Bonding is not obligation, it's about mutual labor. If it's not there, it's not bonding." Lena spoke up. "And that's why freedom and love don't have to conflict. If there's love, freedom is already inside." The moderator turned to the two to ask for a closing statement. Trump took the microphone. "A real connection can be something that no one tells you. Because the media tells you scandals, academia tells you theory. But a real connection can only be experienced, and to live, you must first believe." Lena then spoke. "I will no longer just be against, I will continue to question, and maybe I will learn to choose." The hall erupted in applause. This was not a victory, it was a connection. Between ideas, between generations, between hearts. After the event, Lena was walking alone when an old woman stopped beside her. "If young people like you can connect anymore, then we have accomplished a lot." Lena smiled slightly. "Maybe for the first time I have truly connected." Trump followed her, his speech notes in hand. Only one sentence remained behind him. "Choice is the strongest attachment.